Lufthansa Group update every Sunday. Today's topics are Lufthansa A380 with a hail damage, unfortunately. Could be expensive for Lufthansa. Happy birthday to Eurowings. They are getting 1 year old with their Discover operation. Passenger services are limited. Then the sick ratio is unfortunately still very high in Lufthansa Group on the ground and in the air. On-time performance of Lufthansa is quite not an on-time performance, even if you compare it to the brothers and sisters in Vienna, Zurich, for example. Lufthansa Group has still, they have still suitcases which are not reunited after weeks with their owner. And it's really a problem to get in touch with them. Lufthansa Aviation Training, they do have a new simulator for the 787 Dreamliner, very good thing. And 3 times the Miles & More points in Frankfurt Airport as a new Miles & More partner. And dear-zone Lufthansa business class flights from Europe, within Europe, starting at 300, around 300 euros. Deal details in the deal zone part at the end. My name is Lars. I'm here to bring you more miles, more points, and more status. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for hitting the notification button. That helps us to grow the channel. And as a very young channel, at least the English one is really young, we would appreciate you liking this video and, of course, commenting for the algorithm. I don't want to sing today, but happy birthday to Eurowings Discover. It's 1 year now that they are flying. They started on the 24th with the first flight from Frankfurt to Zanzibar. Yes, and they had a stop in Mombasa. And this flight was done once a week. Now they have 158 weekly departures. And on the first birthday, they have today 24 flights on the short, medium and long range. The long-haul network has now 40, can you imagine, 40 destinations in different countries. The fleet is 17 aircrafts. That is all, 10 of them is Airbus A330, 6 A320s, and a speaker of Eurowings said that they will get a new 320 in the fleet soon. And Finnair is having wet lease contract with them. They're having two 350s. Air Baltic is having a couple of them, 10 if I'm not mistaken. And 2 of the Finnair 321s are coming soon as well to the fleet. Finnair is hoping to extend the contract. When you talk about passengers, you have to say that they had over 1 million passengers transported in that year. The staffing is 1,300 people in all areas, from the cockpit, over the cabin, into the management. All are there now happily working. 1,300 for a new airline. That is pretty good. Of course, it's not, I mean, they call it a startup, but basically it is the holiday version of Lufthansa, and they have the Lufthansa power and performance and money and everything. So it's not this simple to say that they are a startup, because if they would be a startup and would have to do that their own, it would be really a problem. Lufthansa A380s. Very sad to hear the story about those, because what happened is that those aircrafts are, they have damages from the hail. When there were thunderstorms and bad weather in Teruel, the aircrafts got in the Spanish desert damages. And as other airlines already said when they recertified the 380s for the air, they had really big problems with them, because they had a long damage list when they were put into service. Again, actually because before their damages were not repaired, they couldn't do it. In the German military, we always said we had to do so kind of called Bewegungsfahrten. That is a kind of a movement drive, because you say when it stands until it's breaking. And this said, we had in German military always to drive every 6 months, every car, at least a little bit around the airfield in the German Air Force, that they are not broken when you need them. And that is what the aircraft have. Even they were standing now 2 years and people were taking care of it. Unfortunately, things happen, and I think that nature does its thing as well, because wasn't it a Singapore Airlines one where animals were breeding in it somewhere? I don't know, but some things were happening, and that is, in my opinion, of course, very sad. The sick ratio in the Lufthansa Group at the ground are very high as well. Between 30 and 40% alone in Frankfurt Airport. Can you imagine, of the check-in people and the ground service people from Lufthansa, 30 to 40%. Unbelievable, unbelievable. People who are flying, they have a sick ratio still from 10%. The problem is, of course, that the ratios are not only high, they have already a shortage of staff. And due to the shortage of staff, you have 30% who are sick as well. It's not making the things easier. And the problems, of course, on the ground are that the people are exhausted and getting sick psychology-wise because the passengers are a nuisance sometimes. And for that reason, people, when you go to the airport, remember the people at the check-in, they're not responsible for our miseries. Please be nice, please say thank you, say please, you know how you behave. Normal behavior from civilization. Due to the limited services, as they have staffing problems, of course the passenger services are limited even more right now. Means animal transport. They don't want to do it anymore. Then children, the service, the unattended minor, problems. There are, until August, no bookings for those available. And for the animals, it makes really sense. I had a story in Air Canada where somebody was flying from Toronto to San Francisco or Los Angeles, I don't know which one it was. And the cats were flying in the belly, and he was not accepted for the flight because he had immigration problems. But Air Canada said, pick it up. And of course, Lufthansa says the same. That they don't take animals. Actually, Air Canada is not accepting animals either anymore due to this experience, that they don't want to have this. And everybody has now to carry their children, animals are for some children, into the cabin. And I think that is a good idea. Which is a good idea as well, as especially when it comes to safety and to on-time performance. Lufthansa has an on-time performance that is 26%. Can you imagine? 26 and 26% on-time performance means even departing with 15 minutes delay. Where I'm coming from, it's considered if you're on time, it's too late. On time means 5 minutes before departure to depart. That just, it's Emirates, that is what they said. The ratio, what they wanted was 85%. So you see, when you are 26% and 85 is your goal, far way to go. When you look at the numbers, for example, of Deutsche Bahn, which is partner of Star Alliance, they have 62.7% on-time performance, which is, of course, much better than Lufthansa. Normally, Deutsche Bahn is somehow where you have the red letter. In German, you say it when you are the last, you have the red light. In this case, it's Lufthansa. Even when you compare it to Austrian Airlines, they have 56%. When you compare it to Swiss Airlines in Zurich, the Swiss people, they have 56. No, that was Austrian. Austrian have 56, and Swiss is going for. I had it. I don't know where it was. Austrian 56. I don't know. I have to check for the Swiss. That is interesting. Swiss is 47.3. 47.3%. That is so much better than Lufthansa is with the 26%. Anyways, big problems, big troubles. They should get better with that. I told you already that a lot of airports, especially in German-speaking areas, having trouble with suitcases. There was a story of a guy from the US who did fly into Europe back again to Düsseldorf. It was a Lufthansa flight. And his luggage was showing on the iPhone, because he air-tagged them, that they were in Düsseldorf. And it's for 4 suitcases, 4. And he found each one in Düsseldorf, picked it up, and unfortunately, he had to go through halls with thousands of suitcases. Even in the parking lot, they had kind of areas where they put the suitcase, and he said it was smelling better than Munich Airport. Munich Airport said every suitcase that is smelling, we throw away. This said, he got the suitcases, but still the problem is not only that you don't get the suitcase, the problem is that you cannot communicate to them. Swiss said, for example, or Austrian Airlines said that if you have 10 passengers, one of them is calling you. Nowadays, it's a much higher ratio. And the problem is that when people are calling, the problems and topics they have are even more complex. And due to the complexity, it takes more time. They have higher staffing and everything, but it's really a problem, in my opinion. Why don't they have an automation? Why is there not implemented the IATA resolution where they said that you have to track the suitcase, that you know where it is? And that is, in my opinion, the biggest problem. The other problem is, of course, when you send them emails or when you call them, it's a nightmare because they are not answering, especially when you have no status. That is so annoying. For me as a Honsaker, I call them and I have pretty fast someone on the phone, but basically it's a gamble. It's really a gamble. Something which is gambling as well is the 787-9er from Lufthansa. Why? Because Lufthansa has none. I mean, there is one already in the colors, or maybe 2, I don't know. But these ones have been not handed over to Lufthansa from Boeing. And they said Lufthansa was expecting the aircraft already last year, now in summer. But summer is still a little bit, I think, until September. So we have a little time. But Lufthansa Flight Training has now already the first simulator. And Lufthansa Aviation Training, actually Lufthansa Flight Training is the old wording for it. It's now called Lufthansa Aviation Training. It is, they have now a simulator, a full flight simulator in FFS, the first one of its kind in the world. It was produced and manufactured not by Boeing. It was done by Harris something, and they have the device now in Frankfurt available, and there should be in autumn 2022 coming the next one, a flight training device, which is, I don't know really what the differences are between the full flight, except that the full flight, because I only use full flight simulators, which had the full show. If you want one, if you want to make your own, you can buy it, couple million, 14 tons is the weight. There is at Frankfurt Airport the old building of Condor, where they used to have their headquarters next to the Holiday Inn. On the other side would be the Hyatt Place and the former Elements, which is now a Best Western. And there's a facility where you can put the simulator and offices in. So maybe it's an opportunity for you to offer these services, but be careful which simulator you put in. If you are collecting miles and points with Lufthansa Miles and More, you have now the opportunity at Frankfurt Airport to collect miles and points, and you get 3 times the points normally. Normally you get 1 point per euro, now you get 3 miles per euro. The time where you can collect is from 11th of July to the 31st of August. 40 shops are participating, even a little bit more. The duty-free shop, Relay, Hugo Boss, Hub, Convenience, and a couple more. Then food outlets are accepting it. Then the visiting services of the airport, like the VIP services and the business services, are giving you points. Online bookings with Frankfurt Airport parking and Frankfurt Airport shopping in the internet, giving you this point as well. 3 times, that is cool. Important to know is that tobacco, which has the tax thing, is not allowed to collect. Then medication, which has to have prescriptions, and medicine where you have to pay. Copay, not allowed as well. And very important, bags. For bags, you don't get points. Good thing, I appreciate that. Comment if you think that it's interesting. Then I saw on the website of frankfurtflyer.de, please send them some love and subscribe to their website. A deal which I didn't want to hide from you. I thought that is a pretty cool thing. The deals are starting with 317 euros, so it was 317, not 200. It's a flight from Nuremberg to Lanzarote. Then for 329 you can get to Gran Canaria, Tenerife to 329, Marrakesh 320, and Agadir 320. The flights are cheaper than flying from Munich, and you get more miles, more points, and more status due to that because you get the 50% more. Be aware, if you fly via Munich, you have to take the airport bus. But the flights are cheaper than from Munich, so it makes sense to reach the airport easily, no problem. When I was stationed there with the German Air Force in Nuremberg and I had to get to the airport, I was in Roth, which is a little bit outside. From the main railway station, you can go into the underground, and the underground brings you there. It's an automated underground. It has no driver, so it's kind of a drone only on rails. Thank you for watching Frequent Traveler TV Takeoff, and thank you for subscribing, hitting the notification button, and please comment, and leave us a like. That is so important for us, and I would be so grateful if you do it. If you're in the area of Frankfurt on the 13th of August, do not forget to sign up for the show. We have a regular table, and before that we have with the Passengers Rights Association the yearly meetup as well. If you want to participate there, not a problem, you are most welcome. Anyways, thank you for watching. See you tomorrow for your daily dose of more miles, more points, and more status. Thank you so much. See you. Bye.